Okay, so we will continue our discussion on the previous year questions, and we were covering the syllabus, in fact, through the previous year questions, and we have now reached till Marx, and we have discussed a few questions from Marx. Now, today I'm going to discuss one question which is related to fetishism of commodities. Okay, so let me share the screen here. As you can see here, so this is a question. Marx's concept of commodity fetishism. I hope all of you know this concept, very important one. What is Marx's concept of fetishism of commodities? Direct, straightforward question. Okay, so that statement, I hope you remember that object becomes the master of subject and everything, and he considered the object that created as superior and something like fetishes or fearful, and he believed that because of that only you start existing in this world and all those. So we have seen how beautifully Marx have explained this. And in fact, if you see, this is one of the most fascinating concept of Marx, right? The commodity fetishism. And just 1 minute. So I hope you can see the screen and the question. Okay. So, this is, you need to mention the book name also, The Capital, right? 1867. And Marx argued that in capitalism, the commodities, have the value, the power, and, significance also, which is completely independent of the human labor which actually produce it. So it is you who is the creator. I create the product. Now I should be the superior because I am the creator. But what happens in capitalism is, because of that product you created, you have existence, right? You get salary, you get wage because you produce that. And your existence is because of that. So you start believing that because of the product you exist. So you consider that product as superior. Originally, you created that and you are superior, you are the master. And that is why Marx said in capitalism, the relation between object and the subject inverse. And in capitalism, the object become the master of subject. Right. So as a result, you will see social relationship between people become, disguised as relationship between things. And we have seen that. And see, commodity fetishism basically refers to the process through which commodities acquire a kind of fetish-like feeling, character, a mysterious or fetish-like character, obscuring the real social relations of production. That's how you can mention. Some, you will say, you will consider the product that you create as God. People worship. Why? Because of that only you exist. I hope you understood. You treat that as fetish. Fetish means you maintain a sense of distance with that, right? With God also you maintain a sense of distance. Something which is superior to you also you maintain a sense of distance. So when I say I consider this product as fetish means I maintain a sense of distance. I consider that as superior. And that statement in capitalism, the existence of the worker is because of the product he created, and though he is the master, but that relationship involves in capitalism, the object become the master of subject. The object you created is superior because you start believing that your existence, your very existence, is because of the product that you created, and that have more value than you actually, right? And even if you want that, you have to buy it from the market by paying money. So what is commodity? Now let's try to understand in detail. So what you mean by fetishism? So before we understand commodity fetishism, let's understand commodity. Let's understand this use value, exchange value, etc. See, the commodity means anything which is produced for exchange in the market. Now, for every commodity, there will be use value. So what is use value? That is its utility or usefulness. For example, water. Water quenches the thirst. So that is having some use value. A mobile phone that enable communication. So that's what its usefulness. That's its utility. That's what its use value. Now, what is exchange value? So that is a market value relative to other commodities, right? So if you see a phone, it can cost you 50,000, a shirt maybe 2,000. So according to Marx, exchange value ultimately derived from human labor, right? But in capitalism, in fact, it conceals this fact, and that it looks like the product of value. But who gave that value to the product? It is the labor. Now, soil, right? Soil is there in nature. So the nature there is something which is already available, use the forces of production and the tools and the techniques and your human labor, you convert that into brick. So then it becomes use value, right? It is having a use value, it is having utility. Now you exchange it, it is having an exchange value, right? So for brick, now something which is available freely in nature, you convert that using your labor to use value or exchange value. So that is what I mean by commodity. Now, commodity fetishism means Marx borrowed this concept, this word from anthropology, where certain objects are believed to possess supernatural force, supernatural power. That is why I told you, you consider it as God, you consider it as some supernatural force, and you try to maintain sense of distance with that. You consider that as superior, right? So in capitalism, when it comes to this, if you connect supernatural force here, the commodity possess, value naturally, right? And their value seems inherent, and their value is more than yours, right? And the labor or you who created become invisible. So it is have the product have value, but you don't have value. People, because of that, begin to worship the commodities that you created, and you ignore the social relations and the labor and the efforts and all those you put behind that. So you considering that as fetish, you consider that as superior, you maintain a sense of distance. In simple terms, this is what commodity fetishism, right? You created a product and you believe that your existence is because of the product, and you start treating as something superior to you. Simple terms. This is how you need to understand. Now, for the answer writing purpose, you can write so many things, right? How commodity fetishism operate. First of all, there is concealment of labor there. So who produce it? It is the workers who produce it. But the consumers, will they see the effort behind that? By if I produce some product and I sold that, I kept that for the I kept it for exchange value in the market. The one who's buying the product, they will only look at the product and they'll only see the value in the product, and they're not going to see the effort or anything that I put in that, right? They're not going to recognize me, they're not going to see me. They see the product, they see the utility, they see the exchange value, they buy that and they use that, right? So they do not see the workers, they do not see the working condition, they do not see exploitation, they do not see labor process. So basically labor disappears from this view itself. Now coming to commodities. So here, in fact, commodities acquire the independent power. So here objects begin to appear more important than people. For example, if you take an iPhone, iPhone may acquire that prestige, the status, and the symbolic value, which is far beyond its functional utility. What is a functional utility? You take a normal phone and iPhone, a normal smartphone and iPhone, the utility is almost the same. But iPhone is also associated with all these prestige, status, and symbolic value, right? It is having that symbolic value. So the use value, although it looks similar, but exchange value will be higher. So that commodity again appears to possess some magical qualities, right? Now coming to the next one, that is a social relation become thing relation, right? In capitalism, instead of seeing worker capitalist, people actually see money and commodity. So social relationship become disguised as market relationship. And then you can also talk about market masks exploitation. So consumers buy product, they are not knowing who produced it, they're not knowing under what conditions they produced it and how much they were paid. So the capitalist exploitation here, that remains hidden. Then you can also mention social relation under capitalism. Marx basically argued that the capitalism transforms social relation into market relation. So you consider a simple product like a branded shirt. So see, branded shirts you take, behind that, it can be like starting from the farmers, right? Cotton farmers, and then that comes to factory, so factory workers, and then transportation, so transportation workers, and then after that it moves to the shops, so marketing professionals, and then finally retailers, and from advertisements, and all these are going through, right? But finally, who the consumer see only what? Consumer only see the brand. Consumer don't see the farmer, nor the factory worker, nor the transportation worker, nor the marketing people. They see the brand, they see the exchange value, that is a price, and that is a complex network of human relation that is becoming invisible when it comes to capitalism. Next one, alienation and commodity fetishism. See, again, commodity fetishism directly connected with alienation. In the theory of alienation, only Marx clearly mentioned about fetishism, right? The alienation from the product. That is where Marx mentioned about this. Object become the master of subject. He is alienated from the very product that he created, right? And the product originally should belong to him, and that is his creativity, but he don't have any control over that. So he considered treating that as fetish. So workers, in fact, alienated from the process of production, fellow workers, and self also, human potential also, and the product of his own labor also. But here it is associated with the product of his own labor, his alienation. So in fact, commodities dominate the social life, but workers lose control over what they actually created. So the product begins to dominate its own creator. That is why you need to write that statement. In capitalism, the relation between subject and object inverse. The object become the master of subject. Can give a lot of examples from the contemporary scenario. Luxury brands like this Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Rolex. They derive much of their value from symbolic prestige rather than its original utility. And people see, we often desire the brand image more than the actual product. So that luxury, that status, that privilege that you get. So it's a symbolic value more than its utility, more than its use value. Smartphones. See, in fact, consumers focus on what? It could be a normal smartphone or it could be an iPhone. So they focus on the brand identity, they focus on the status or the logo, Apple logo. That is what people are looking for. So you ignore the global labor chains and all those which is producing that device. You look at the logo, you look at the brand, and you buy that, right? And social media influencer economy. So in fact, products are marketed as a symbol of success, beauty, or lifestyle, the present kind of marketing scenario. And the commodity acquire almost magical power to define your identity also. That is the way it is marketed these days. The prestige, the beauty, right? And fast fashion. Consumers buy inexpensive clothes without considering the sweatshop labor, poor wages, unsafe working conditions, and the commodity hides the labor behind it. All these are the similar associated concepts. Now, what are the criticisms? You also need to talk slightly about criticism. So I'm discussing from the perspective of 20 marker, but if it is 10 marker, arrange accordingly. So overemphasis on economic condition. So economic determinist, you'll talk about Weber's criticism very clearly. We have discussed in multiple scenarios. Weber argued ideas, values, and culture also influence the consumption pattern. Not all attachment to commodities result from commodity fetishism or capitalist exploitation. Then the consumer agency. The modern sociologists argue that consumers actively create meanings rather than passively accepting the commodity values. Then the postmodern critique, like Jean Baudrillard, argue that the contemporary society is driven more by science, symbols, and simulation rather than by labor value, the hyper reality, if you remember. Postmodern critique. Now, what is the contemporary relevance? Despite all these criticism, commodity fetishism still remained relevant. It helps in explaining consumerism, brand obsession, celebrity endorsements, luxury consumption pattern, digital platform capitalism, global supply chain invisibility. All these need to be there in your Marxian answer. In any question, irrespective of what is the question, one way or the other, you have to place it. So in the age of social media, in the age of digital capitalism, in the age of digital labor, in the age of influencer marketing, in the age of platform capitalism, commodities are increasingly function as symbols of identity and status. Right? So here we will conclude it like that. In other cases, we'll conclude it in another way. Now, so what is commodity fetishism? It is basically refers to the process by which commodities appear to possess some intrinsic value and also some power and some magical forces or some kind of supernatural force, but you conceal the labor, effort, ideas and all social relations that actually produced that commodity. So Marx demonstrated that capitalism transformed the relation between people into relation between things, thereby obscuring exploitation and alienation. And in capitalism, object become the master of subject. The subject who created the object become dependent on the object that he created. So in today's world of branding, consumer culture, and digital capitalism, this concept remains very powerful tool for understanding how commodities shape social consciousness. This is how you will be writing the answer. So for Marx, the greatest illusion of capitalism is that the commodities appear alive while the labor that created that commodity become completely invisible. This is all about commodity fetishism. So I hope you got it, and I see you in the next video. If you would like to join our classes or mentorship or test series in sociology, get in touch with us. See you there.